guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here to bring you the review for One Piece episode 1035. So the first half of the episode is what I'm going to call Chopper time, because it really does focus on Chopper and his fight with Queen. And now the fight itself, not really much added to it, pretty meh, but it's what we learn during the fight via flashback, which is the important stuff. So as we learn within this episode, some time off screen, Chopper was able, with the help of Caesar Clown, develop the Rumble Ball further. So now it's not the 3 minute time limit we used to get. It is a now 30-minute time limit with the hint of some sort of side effect to come. So it's very like, ooh. Chopper seems to be going on about this side effect quite a bit as well. So it makes you wonder, ooh, what exactly is the drawback going to be for enabling Chopper to stay in Monster Point for 30 minutes. But like I said, we learned that Caesar Clown basically did the work. And now this essentially is a power up for Chopper being able to stay in his monster form significantly longer will come with its benefits. But for me personally, I'm not really a fan of this power up. I felt like Chopper should have gone the route of utilizing his points more and growing stronger that way, growing stronger within each point, and then only relying on Monster Point as his like trump card. Because ever since the time skip, rightly so, because he learned how to control it, he doesn't go berserk anymore, and that's the only thing he needed the Rumble Ball for. He goes straight into Monster Point, he rushes straight into Monster Point. But because he didn't no longer need the Rumble Ball to, because post time skip he doesn't need the Rumble Ball to go into his other points, I really feel like they should have gone the route of making each of those points stronger, or just having them shine more in his fights and having him go quote unquote stronger that way, making his fights more excited. Because before the time skip, Chopper did need his Rumble Balls to go into any other point, so Chopper was more tactful within his fights in the pre-time skip, whereas now in the post-time skip he's just rushing to the Rumble Ball. Another thing which kind of disappoints me about this new power up for the Rumble Ball, being able to stay in the 30 minutes, it kind of makes what I wanted less likely more to happen. And now, way back in my early days of YouTube, I did a video on how I just think an end of series Chopper will look like. I'll put it in end cards if you want to check it out. Very old video, but I still think it holds some merit. But I'm pretty sure in that video I said that how, even though knowing that Chopper can, if I didn't say it in the video, I'm saying it now. Even though Chopper can control his Monster Point now via eating one Rumble Ball, and previously the time limit was still 3 minutes, I thought we might have got an occasion where Chopper would still have to eat 3 Rumble Balls, and therefore we go into and finally see a new Berserker mode. With the fact that he can now stay in the Monster Point for 30 minutes, I feel like that makes it less likely, which is a shame. So, also during this half of the episode, everybody on Onigashima finds out about the defeat of Luffy and the samurai them, Kinemon and his crew. We get to see the reactions of some of the people for it, but the most notable reaction is like from Sanji and Zoro, who like screw that, so that they can't believe it kind of thing, and they are pretty much vexed about it. So the other half of the episode, and for me the better half of the episode, was having the Momonosuke stuff. And so this centered around Kinemon and Kiku finding Momonosuke, because of the Marys, all the enemies know where Momonosuke is. So this leads to Kanjuro targeting Momonosuke, Kinemon and Kiku. And now how he does this is by transforming into Odin again, and using Odin's image to play on the emotions of everybody there present. Obviously, previously Momonosuke and Shinobu haven't seen this, so they're like, oh my gosh, Odin is still alive. And now, when it comes to Kiku rather, this is where I have mixed emotions, and it's kind of hard to gauge what is right and wrong in this scenario. for me personally, I was in the mindset at first of thinking, okay, Kiku, you know this trick already. You shouldn't fall for it. Just go on an attack, which she pretty much does at first. But we do see that moment where she does falter. And now my problem is, if it is a problem, is should she have faltered within this moment? Because at one side of the spectrum, you can look at she's seen this trick before. She knows it's kanjuro, but at the same time, she has all this emotional baggage. She spent all this time with Odin, so that's going to play into effect as well. And another thing that you can consider at this moment in time is that she doesn't see Kanjuro transform into Odin. And with an Odin like figure standing there, dropping all these facts about your your past and present life. No, past life. Memories of the past. You will falter. I feel like it is. I feel like it is a reasonable excuse to falter. Like being put face to face with this person. So, like I said, with Kiku especially, I'm not sure where I stand on it, but that was my thought process through the episode. But then we skip over to Kinemon, who Kinemon doesn't have no problem cutting down Kanjuro. But on one hand of the things, you can say that if Kinemon did go first, he may have suffered the same problem, because it's not until after Kiku attacks, and after Kiku attacks, Odin transforms back into Kanjuro, so Kinemon has no doubt in his mind it's Kanjuro face to face with him, so that could prompt him to be able to attack without restraint. However, one thing that I did like about this whole scene is that you get more emotional attachment via the anime than you do in the manga. In the manga, I felt the pain, the suffering, the regret, the restraint, the resistance to attack from Kiku and Kinemon via the voice acting, the little details in the the grimacing of the face, or like you can see them falter. Some of these kind of things you can easily miss when reading it within the manga, but it's all there on display, and I felt it more within the anime. For example, you see Kinemon brutally strike Kanjuro, which looks like, oh my gosh, he had no qualms doing that. But it's after attack, when you see his facial expression, when you hear those little noises that he makes, you're thinking, alright, cool, he was able to do this, but he still regrets it. And they do it via flashback as well, because after this you see Kinemon flashback to all the times he spent with Kanjuro, so you can feel like, alright, cool, he knew what needed to be done, but at the back of his mind, at least, Kanjuro is still his boy, still his brother, so it was hard for him. So you feel all of that within anime, without a doubt. There was just no way you couldn't, at least for me, within the manga, I feel like these kind of things are easily glossed over. You could easily miss them. So that's why I feel like the anime did really well for this episode, for this part of the series. So after that, Kanjuro, now seemingly defeated, Kaido turns up on Momonosuke's doorstep. Kinemon don't like that. He's like, yo, Shinobu, grab Kinemon. Out of here now. Get out of here now. And that moment when you see Kaido attack Kinemon, that hits harder, way harder in the anime than it does within the manga. And that's what I'm going to say about it. That's what I'm going to say about it for now. So overall, the episode was okay. The pacing was okay. At no present moment I feel like the pacing affected the episode. However, because of the first half of the episode, the Chopper and Queen stuff, I feel like we could have thrown in some more filler action in there to make it just a little bit more exciting. But I feel like the emotional side of the second half of the episode is what saves the episode, if you will. So I feel like it scrapes the average rating of a 3-star. And like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.